Hey Cancer, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for May 9th, 2024. This is for Cancer. Last shuffle for Cancer. Let's see what's going on. So Cancer, there you have dark thoughts and playing it safe. Ooh, you're like, you know what the best thing to do is focus on the worst case scenario in this situation. What could go wrong? Not what could go right. Because what could go wrong could slap you so hard in the face. You're focused on being successful. If you focus on what's going wrong, then you can fix that, you can correct that, and you can assure your success. I mean, it's not a bad way to look at life. Things could be over, things could end, everything you put your time into could fall apart. That is what you're thinking about. Like things could be like messed up. Like the Ten of Swords, things could be messed up. Everything I invested in, there could be some level of investment here. Now if the Seven of Wands comes out, we know it's your house. Nine of Pentacles, Six of Cups. All right, so why is my throat doing this all of a sudden? Six of Wands, you might not want to talk about it. Apparently, throat doing this. Six of Wands and Nine of Pentacles talks a lot about how you want to be successful, independently wealthy. You spend most of your time saying, get rich or die trying. That sounds like somebody who's like that. That you have higher goals, higher aspirations. You don't want to be codependent on anything. You want to be independent of things. You want to be. There's a luxury that you're attaining. You're attempting to attain in life. If you're not already in that space, now we have dark thoughts with Ten of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Hermit, and Judgment, and this is telling me that you may be thinking a lot about the worst case scenario, which is everything could fall apart. I could end up by myself, or I could be right back where I was at this whatever point in life before you started this investment, or whatever situation you were in that caused you to invest your time in whatever it is. So whatever it was back in the day, you may feel or find yourself or be thinking about what if everything fell apart and I was back there? What if I was at that spot where I needed help, I needed all this stuff, and I didn't have anything together, and something had just ended, and it was sad and painful, and I didn't want it to go? What if I'm back in that spot? Playing it safe is the King of Cups and Six of Cups, and this is talking about your intentions of, well, this is talking about, for some of you, you may be attempting or wanting to remember the past. This is almost saying like putting yourself there, stepping in those shoes of the old Cancer and being like, I don't want to go back there, right? I want to be free of this. Um, mm, mm, mm. And also, too, taking the lessons from that time. What decisions did you make back then that led to this, to now? There's something about this going on that you may be trying to shore up your bets and make sure everything is solid so that you don't ever have to revisit that time. Behind a mask is the Two of Cups and the Hanged Man. And behind a mask, you don't want to be back. Like there's a vibe of saying, I don't want to be back there and still have to, like, when you're in a place you don't want to be and you have to change your perspective so you can survive it. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. This is just for a season. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing something that you're just like, I never want to be here. But since I'm here, I'm going to make it. I'm going to pretend that, like flowers in the attic. I'm in the attic. My grandmother's nuts. And you know what? I'm going to make paper mache and I'm going to cut out flowers and plant them. I'm going to create a wonderland out of this nightmare that I'm living in. There's something behind the mask saying, I'm not interested in that. I'm not doing that. I don't miss that time. I want to see it as it is. I want to see life as it is. I don't want to see it like, well, at least I have that. Like, you know what I mean? Like every day should be where you're feeling like successful. You turn in each corner of your space and you're just like, that's what I chose for myself. This is what I got for me. This is, not that I'm not saying an ingratitude, but you're not interested in having to be grateful for being codependent on anything or anyone. You're not, you know what I mean? Why would I choose to be in that space, I may have been in that space. This would be one of my friends she's also a Cancer. She says she was telling me that at one point she was homeless, and the agency she went through bought all, gave her or donated furniture, donated things, and at one point, all the stuff that was in her house, she didn't choose it. It was just there. She didn't pick out the couch, none of that stuff. And it's not that she wasn't grateful. She was very grateful. I mean, it was ridiculous. She was, in tears when the charity and the goodwill and the well wishes and all that came through. The donations, but when she started to do better, she gave that stuff away or threw it away or something. She got rid of it, got new stuff, and she was just like, I'm not interested in ever being in that place where I would have to accept that kind of life, or change my perspective and say at least that, there's still good things in the world and spirit's looking out for me. I don't want to have to be in that space of trying to change it around. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? I don't know where this is going, because I'm like, why is Spirit bringing that up? But, for some of you, it doesn't have to be as dire or as serious as that situation. But for, it could be anything. Like, you don't have to accept scraps from something or someone and to be codependent on what they will be willing to do or give or contribute. Some of you are at this place where you're like, I don't want to be in that space. I want to be able to be completely independent. I want to be able to do what I want to do without having to depend on someone else making it possible for me. Family would be Queen of Cups and the Chariot. And so these are people that really care about you, actually. Let's see, 2, 4. They're wanting... There's a lot of grace being given to you for turning away or realizing that something doesn't work for you. There's a lot of grace being given to you on this. These are people that Spirit is almost saying that on this path and journey, of you trying to make sure that you never are put back in a certain position, having to revisit a time that was like you may have felt was a waste of time. You don't, but being on that journey, it's like the family may forgive you, but also at the same point, you're able to forgive your family for either abandoning you during a time of need, feeling like you were abandoned. Because it seems like maybe you were codependent on them, you needed them, and they didn't show up for you. And there's on this path of sustaining yourself or making sure that you're in a good place, like you're planting so many good seeds in so many different gardens. Is you won't have to worry about harvest season. You won't have to worry about winter time. You know what I mean? You're going to be okay. And so there's a vibe of you forgiving them for abandoning you. And the family also is headed towards that direction. It seems like you're reflective. You're very reflective over that, like over them. Like, so if you are in that space, it's like that happens with them as well. Because there seems to be some unhealthy codependency with you and certain relatives that is like you already know that that's done and that you won't be able to. There's a vibe of like, I won't be able to revisit this. Like I've become independent now. When people walk away, I see this a lot too. Someone walks away from a relationship and they leave the person alone and they're like, that'll teach him. And I'm like, that actually just taught them how to live without you. But okay, do what works for you as long as you can sleep at night. And some people, I'm seeing that kind of thing. Like they may have walked away and then left you to figure some things out. And now you realize, well, I could be super successful without them. I really don't want to depend on them. I don't want anyone to have that kind of power where they could walk away and I'm crushed. Forget that. So I see you could be dealing with a Virgo, Pisces, another Cancer actually, Scorpio as well, right? So nothing but... So if you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.